So, the Jonas Brothers made a Christmas movie. It's been 20 years since they formed as a band. Surprised the Christmas special took that long. And before you say, oh, cool, like a fun holiday special, or... No, I mean a movie. With a plot, and dialogue, and a runtime long enough to legally classify this thing as a mistake. Now, I don't know too much about the Jonas Brothers' personal lives, but I've also heard that this movie parallels some of their real life. So the whole Joe and Sophie Turner divorce thing, yeah, kind of the whole reason for a big subplot in this movie. By the way, I want to start off by saying this is technically fanfiction written by the Joe Bros themselves, about themselves. With that said, let's talk about a Very Jonas Christmas. We open with the scene set in London. Hello, London! I was actually there when they filmed this, by the way. It was in Toronto. I was somewhere over there. I got to see them for 20 bucks. Sick deal. They play a Christmas song, which in real life they made us listen to twice. By the way, the crowd also straight up booed the first time the Joe Bros said "Hello, London," before we were being told by production to just stop it. I was like, will I know this Christmas song, or is it like some original bullshit that I don't know the lyrics to? And... it's the second one. I mean, at least there's subtitles. At the concert, we did not have that. By the way, this movie opens with Will Ferrell, mostly to remind you of a better Christmas movie. But yeah, this cameo pretty much goes nowhere. And just like me, Will Ferrell attended this concert. He was never actually there. After the concert, the Joe Bros head down backstage where they were met by their manager, played by Kim Jong-un, or Jim from The Office, who gives them a jolly Christmas gift of... whistles? Oh my god, I think he gave them whistles. You know, this DCOM is off to such a family-friendly start. Don't worry, the family fun doesn't end there, and it's also not very appropriate either. Anyways, the guys are like, let's have one last epic night in London, before we presumably never see each other again. Even though they're brothers with close families and they were supposed to be meeting for Christmas anyways.
You really want to know?
Whoa, 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 what the fuck? When I watched this, the transition was so jarring, and Joe is an awful lip syncer, by the way. Like, his ass would get eliminated from RuPaul's Drag Race so fast. Joe's gonna get the pork chop. Also, what is this song? Like, what in the actual fuck is happening? I know it's Christmas, but over here he's dressed like Harry Potter and shit. Is this because they're in the UK? That's racist. And this whole sequence is honestly just peak millennial cringe. Oh yeah, we also get cameos from their real life families too, like in this scene with Priyanka Chopra. It's her best work since We Can Be Heroes, let me tell ya.
Hi, Gaga.
Oh yeah, and she calls him Gaga the whole movie. That night, Joe ends up in a bar next to a George Michael Santa Claus. And we have to talk about Santa in this movie, okay? Because I was so shook when I found out he was played by none other than Mitch from Modern Family. Oh my god, I think we have a gay Santa. Not gonna lie, his outfit here kinda slays. Haha, get it? Because, you know, Santa, his reindeer, slayed. Anyways, Santa curses the guys to learn some brotherly magic. Whatever the that means. And send some alphabet level curse to blow up their fucking plane? There were people on that. My god, this Santa is on some Christmas evil shit. So yeah, amidst the disaster, we get introduced to their travel agent Cassidy, played by Billie Lourd. And she's an absolute wreck and I love her, and honestly one of the better parts of this whole movie. She tells the guys that they have to travel to Paris for the next flight, and as they leave the hangar, it's like by magic they're suddenly indoors. The editing is just so whack here. Anyways, they get into the car with Deborah. Like, she's this crazy ass Uber driver who almost Final Destination 2s them several times on the highway, before they finally arrive at St. Pancras Station in London.
To St. Pancras Station.
Yeah. Wait, I mean Toronto's exhibition place. We get another dance number, which I admit was kind of more fun to watch. But I mean, if you're barely making it aboard your train, maybe just make sure you're on the right one before you start singing and dancing and stuff. I mean, it is kind of Santa's fault this time around, but still. What the fuck am I talking about? Santa's dooming them anyways. Sing away.
I forgot that Kenny G cameos.
Also, before Santa changed the train, I literally thought he was just going to derail the whole train because this Santa is freaking evil. The whole movie is just Santa versus transportation. Joe runs into Logan Paul's ex, Lucy, played by Chloe Bennett, an old friend who is a carthodic surgeon.
A cardiothoracic surgeon.
That's right.
Guess she works on dinosaurs or some shit. Anyways, she is the clear love interest of this movie, and I just think giving Joe a love interest in this movie is just shining a big stinking light on the whole divorce drama. Like, it's the elephant in the room, okay? But we could have ignored the elephant and just left it in the zoo if we just had no love story for Joe.
Got a few bad breakups under my belt as well.
Besides, it's the most boring part of the movie, okay? Because whenever the two of them appear on screen, in my head, I'm just like,
oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But yeah, while Joe is going gaga over Lucy, Gaga is over at the calf car talking about a possible extension of the tour, meaning they'll be away from family for longer. Meanwhile, at the same time, Nick is also tripping Major Ballsack. Like, did someone slip Nick something? It's just such an odd scene. Like, it's been a few days since I've seen this movie, but I still have the image of the Jonases taking like stir sticks and sugar cubes, just whacking each other. Like, it's living rent-free in my head. Anyways, they finally arrive at the one place in this movie that's not actually Toronto, and it's Amsterdam. No wait, this part actually is still in Toronto. But yeah, there's literally no flights until the next morning, so the guys have to stay a night in Amsterdam. And I gotta say, the hotel scene, it got a few chuckles out of me.
TripAdvisor just says, don't.
It's literally hotel hell with 10% more broken doors and 100% less Gordon Ramsay ass cheeks.
Okay, well, I'm definitely sleeping with a passport tack on tonight.
Yeah, that's not gonna be an awful idea now, is it, Joe? You know, it's always the band leader who loses their passport, okay? So maybe letting Joe carry all of your passports might be a horrible idea. Anyways, desperate for a flight home, they see that Nick's old Broadway buddy, who has his own private jet. Like, Jesus, how rich is this guy? Is he like Lin-Manuel Miranda or something? I swear to God if he shows up in this movie too. Turns out they were in Home Alone the musical together, and they come up with this awful plan to ask their rival if they can hitch a flight on their plane. Oh yeah, by the way, they hate each other.
Ethan is not gonna let us on his plane.
Why?
Because he hates me.
They get to the Broadway guys show, and Nick and him have this whole duet, which is honestly probably the best song in the whole movie, which is Home Alone the musical.
Being home alone.
Not gonna lie, Home Alone the musical fucking slaps. I'd pay money to see that. Honestly, best song of the whole movie. Funny enough, all the best songs in this movie are sung by Nick. Coincidence? Also love that they're doing the whole Kevin McAllister face in the back, like 10 out of 10 scene. They fight back and forth so much in the singing that the Broadway guy cracks his voice and then crashes out on Nick, so guess what? No private jet for you guys. We now return to the worst part of the whole movie, being Joe and Agent Quake's love story. I only know her from that one Marvel show, okay? Also, I hate her outfit in this scene. Like, she's really giving Arthur. So she was at that Crash Out show earlier, and Joe texts his brothers, who proceed to ghost FaceTime him, just to roast him, really.
You're a worthless party boy who doesn't deserve love.
It looks fucking awful. I feel like a lot of the things that they say to each other in this movie are not part of the script and were just them talking smack to each other.
The stuff we say to you is so mean, you don't even have to embellish it in your memory.
Anyways, Joe does the most sensible thing and decides to go on a night walk out with Lucy, before deciding that they wanted to swim and stripped down to their underwear. A family movie. By the way, remember Joe's fanny pack with all the passports? Well, neither did he, because he just left it there and Santa decided to pickpocket him. I mean, it's Amsterdam, okay? He was probably gonna get pickpocketed anyway. And finally, back to the real movie. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, Nick is trying to book a flight and is basically having a mentee B, which is so funny because it looks like he's about to call the robot a slur. Stupid clanker. We also see Kevin start his whole subplot about wanting a solo part before getting interrupted by Nick. Gee, I wonder if we'll get a payoff for this in the movie.
Please hold.
The whole music being their song was a really good bit though, like that made me laugh. Back in the city, Lucy and Joe jump into the Amsterdam canals. Kinda surprised they didn't get E. coli from that. They then run from the cops, get their clothes, and go on their separate ways, before going into another poorly lip-synced musical number. The song itself is fine, but I don't know why the lip syncing for Joe is so bad, especially considering Lucy's was fine. I mean, she was a Chinese pop star for a hot minute there, but Joe's lip sync is just, it's distractingly bad. Like Nick's is almost perfect. Like, I don't know what happened on the editing floor. Anyways, Cassidy was able to get them on a flight with her pilot X.
That's it.
But first, the guys have to leave to Germany. They get a rent-a-car, which was, surprise, surprise, sabotaged by Santa Claus. I honestly thought he was just gonna make the car blow up at this point. With the car gone, the guys hitchhike before being picked up by, well, Santa Claus. Great. It's like getting into a car with a serial killer. I honestly don't get Santa's motivation here. Like, does he want these grown adult men to be spending Christmas together instead of, you know, with their families? I'm so confused. Like, f my wife and kids, okay? Joe bro forever. Priyanka just quietly taking the kids away like...
This lone wolf has always daydreamed about being part of a pack.
Join the pack? Wait. Does Santa want to join the Jonas Brothers? Wait, like, Frankie's not even in it, but they're gonna let Santa in? After a short chat, Nick gets sussed out and decides to join his brothers in the back. And then a whole montage plays. And okay, if you're a big Jonas Brothers fan, you might probably be crying at this point. I didn't really grow up with the Jonas Brothers. We were too broke for Disney Channel, so I grew up as a big-time Rush kid. But it was a neat look back to a simpler time. You know, when they were just having fun being a band before they had to deal with grown-up things, you know, like divorces, kids, P. Diddy mentions in their songs. Yep, that was a real thing. Anyways, they get to their plane and oh my god, the pilot is KJ Apa, aka Mr. Fantasy. I bet you he only did a movie as part of his like whole Mr. Fantasy campaign. I'd rather see a whole movie about that motherfucker, not gonna lie.
Jane? Oh!
He gets the guys to help him take some thirst traps to try to win Cassidy back. And honestly, this whole sequence is great. While doing all that, the guys secretly discovered that Nick has been talking with their manager secretly. Remember about that whole tour extension thing? And unilaterally decided for the guys that they were not gonna extend the tour. Without asking the brothers, by the way. That's messed up, Nick.
Right, I'll take it.
Oh my god, they killed Mr. Fantasy. Oh wait, nope, he's alive. But yeah, the Joe Bros almost crashed their plane, but thanks to their whistles, KJ wakes up just in time to save the day, and they land on Santa's space trampoline thingamajig. I don't know. Still crashed. Yep, 2 planes blew up in this movie. What the f***? They have their guys argument, yada yada, and they have a decent musical number here. Don't know where Kevin got the guitar from in that wreckage. They get back together and it seems like it's a happy ending, but then they're all surrounded by wolves. I swear, if it's that Santa doing all of this again. Turns out their manager saves them from the wolves, and the guys are able to make it home for Christmas. And yes, their real-life families do make an appearance here, by the way. Oh my gosh, that's Frankie. Kind of looking like a drug-dealing Markiplier over there. But you know, someone very important to this movie seems to be missing, who we never really saw again.
I'll get it.
Oh, I wonder who that could be. It's Lucy. My god, do we have to go back to this underbaked plotline? I think I would have cared more if we let that plot bake in the oven for just a little bit longer. Instead, we got a collapsing cake that would make even Paul Hollywood gag. And to no one's surprise, they share a kiss. Wait, hold on a fucking minute. Joe has kids, right? Are they in this scene right now? Like, do they even exist in his Joe Bro fanfiction? If they're not, that's messed up, Joe. They have a happy final Christmas song, and they finally give Kevin his Christmas gift of having a single solo line. Just like Joe, he's also an awful lip syncer, okay? Because what the f was that? Oh god, no. Ew. Peeping Santa? He's so creepy in this movie, honestly.
Most of the time, I'm on the outside, looking in through the window.
Creepiest version of Santa ever, okay? Also, he's an absolute menace.
Oasis needs me.
Get it? Because fighting brothers? Yeah, this movie won't age well. The movie ends at the next leg of the tour where they're playing soccer. But yeah, also in real life they played soccer and a Christmas song twice. You know, there's watching a Christmas movie, but it's not every day that you actually get to be in one. So the Jonas Brothers Christmas special, it was bad. Am I surprised? No. All these DCOMs, DOMs as they're now known, have always had this sort of B-movie vibe to it, and with this movie, it's no different. It's a fun watch, but in my opinion, it doesn't really capture the essence of Christmas. It's more about the brothers themselves than it actually is about Christmas. Despite the horrific menace that is Santa Claus, like, Christmas takes a back seat here. Overall, I'll rate this movie I'll put it on in the background while baking Christmas cookies out of 10. Anyways, what are your thoughts on the Joe Bros Christmas movie? And what is your favorite Christmas movie of all time? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all in the next video, okay? Merry Christmas.